Hey now.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to downtown Cambridge, Maryland, a new location for the Jimmy Palumbo Show just for this week. This is show number 223, and I am here at the Nationals Dancers Inc. Nationals Tournament at the Hyatt down here at Cambridge, Maryland. And of course, behind the glass, your friend and mine, Dave Sturchio. Good morning. How we doing?
Doing great, man. How's the Holiday Inn?
Well, I kind of lied. I said the event is at the Hyatt, but just 5 minutes down the road is the Holiday Inn, where I am staying at a reduced fee for sure here in Cambridge. Beautiful area, very boating bay kind of stuff. It's in that like island thing that's one side's the bay, the other side's the ocean. That's where I am in Maryland. So I guess Ocean City, Maryland would be across the road here, heading more east. But we are down here, and the temperature's fine, only about 99 degrees here in Shea. I have my air conditioner at 67 degrees, piping cold in my room. But of course, it's show number 223, and that means very simply Donnie Baseball. Mattingly, got to mention him. He's one of the all-time Yankee favorites. He was never my favorite player, though. I mean, I liked him, but he wasn't my guy. Because, you know me, I don't like the guys that have no flaws. He was in shape.
Yeah, you don't like those good baseball players.
Yeah, I like them. If you don't have a major flaw, I can't root for you. Then, of course, everybody thinks number 23, Johnny Ellis, a catcher back in the 70s, and Ralph Terry. My dad used to always – Ralph Terry was one of those guys. I think he pitched, between – like 57 and 62, and Yankees lost 8 games in that stretch. Like the Mantle and all these great players and Berra and all that stuff. So I had to mention, of course, Luis Tiant with the Yankees. Now, any wiffle ball player, and here I am wearing my Mr. Bubbles t-shirt because I am heading to Seagirt after this, and I always wear these corny t-shirts for the last 35 years. I have 8 of them. Jolly Green Giant, Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, Mr. Bubble, and I've been wearing them for my nephews. And this year, I'll be with my grandniece, and I promised my nephew that I would have all the regalia, so she gets to understand Uncle Jimmy wears the corny T-shirts. My brother hates it; he thinks I look like a jackass, but I do it just to annoy him. But anybody who plays wiffle ball knows you had to imitate Luis Tiant with shaking the glove all the way down. Anyway, if your dad's listening right now, he totally gets what I'm talking about. Because remember, that was the whole thing. You jiggle it down. I think it's
that was me with the Gary Sheffield, like the.
There you go, the whole wiggle the back. Oh yeah, for sure. We see now in my day when I was younger, we had another guy. I should know this. My brother's gonna kill me for this. There was a guy like Sheffield who wiggled the bat, but he was like shitty, and we laughed at that. But of course, you know, your favorite cowboy, Tashard Choice.
Oh God, he's the running backs coach at Texas now.
There you go. And you got Kyle Fuller and D'Angelo Hall scattered around the league. But I'm telling you, this number 23 is one of those numbers where if you're a kid like going to the NFL and you're choosing a number, you totally choose a number where if you become great, like really good, no one else. It's not really like major.
Did you even? I don't mean to cut you off, but did you even mention LeBron James or no?
No, we don't talk about LeBron James on this show.
But he's an aging LeBron James.
Okay, I know, but you know what? He's not old enough yet.
No, I'm not old enough. The guy just exercised a small option to stay with the Lakers this year for a mere small smidge of 52-point-something million dollars for the year.
I've gotten in arguments with people. Because I hate LeBron James, only because he didn't come to the Knicks, and he's a little bit of a wuss, and he always goes to the teams that are good anyway. Well, that's something. Listen, he's 81 years old, and I still think he's the best player in the league. Like, I think if the Knicks got LeBron James, they would be favored easily to win it all. Like, it wouldn't be close. We'd win that. We'd go 78-4 with LeBron. I just think everybody hates him, but like I'm the kind of guy I hate LeBron, and I'm like, oh, he just scored 35.
You know what it is, though? He's like a locomotive. If he's coming at you full speed, you're like, I'm out of the way. There's no way I'm getting in the way of LeBron James. He's built like a tight end. But
Who would you?
the one thing that sticks out to me this year, it was when he went down with some kind of flopping injury or whatever. But he was down, he's covering his face, and then he goes like this. Anybody looking?
Yeah, anybody looking? I know it's so bad.
Anybody
It's so
paying
bad.
attention to me? Like, oh, shut
But you
up,
know what
dude.
though? Who would you rather have? 8 minutes to go in a game? Who would you rather have? Carl Towns or LeBron James?
No, that's easy. That's LeBron.
No. Excuse me. I misspoke. 4 years from now, 8 minutes to go in a game. Who would you rather have?
I'd rather have a 43-year-old LeBron James. Yeah.
How old is he now? Is he 40?
I don't know. He's got to be pushed. He's been playing since I was in high school.
Anyway, yeah, of course I'm not going to mention him, but that's it. Now, of course, the baseball card segment of the show, I got to give a huge shout out to my boy Dave DeLisi in Ramsey, New Jersey, because I knew what the player was, but I forgot to bring the card. And then I thought, wait a minute, am I mixing it up? Like, I have so many shitty players over the years. I forget. I knew I looked at the card before I left, and I had it on my desk, and I left it there. And so I called him up. Number one, he had to go water my tomato plants. I got one plant on the deck, and then I say,
"What is he, hired help? Like, what is this guy?"
He does my auditions. He's my right-hand guy. He's my what's his name? The actor in Godfather. But I had to call up.
He's your consigliere.
Yeah, my consigliere. I had to. I'm trying to think of the actor's name. My brother's gonna hate. My brother hates the show. I make mistakes like this. But Robert Duvall. I knew I did. But so I texted him this morning. Hey, are you up yet? Because I was up at the crack of dawn. I'll tell you why in a minute. And then I said, listen, can you do me a favor? Can you go to my desk and look for a baseball card and take a picture of it? And then Tony Womack, he didn't know who it was. Said,
Tony Womack?
Yeah, right? So the guy's name is Tony Womack. But a shout out to Dave DeLisi, recently retired. And so now I'm just for free. He works for me. And that's what we do. No, he doesn't work for me. You just pop that on the screen there. I don't know where you went. I don't know if we're dealing with hotel Wi-Fi day here, Jay. All right, you didn't go away. Maybe it's on my end. Anyway, so now God, I'm so stupid. This is a good guy to talk about. Tony Womack. Number one, he was 5'9".
Padres?
Second base, no, shortstop. You're gonna die when you second base, shortstop, outfield. 13 years. You batted .273, 36 ding-dongs, 1,300 hits. That's a lot. He played for Pittsburgh, Arizona, Colorado, Cubs, St. Louis, the Yankees, Cincinnati, and then back to the Cubs. In 2005 with the Yankees, he batted .249, 350 at-bats. And he was, the key thing was, though, in 2001, in the World Series, he was 8 for 34 at the Diamondbacks, and he got the double to tie the game in the ninth inning. I did not.
What a piece of shit!
Piece of shit, right? And then of course, you get the third base, then the bloop, and Jeter was playing in. So a huge home run there for sure. But he also in that year, which is why like Diamondback fans love him. He got the single to end the Cardinal series in the first round of the World of that year. So he's like, that's some big hits there.
He's got a statue outside Diamondback Stadium or something.
Imagine if it was the Yankees, we'd be like all over it. The Rutgers guy he'd name the stadium after him. But I love about him. Twice he was traded over the years for a bunch of nobodies. But and I know you're gonna love this. He was traded, but it's always with cash. You know right away when you get traded with cash.
What do you do? But what do you do? Like, do you give Tony Womack like a wad of cash? Like, here, take this with you.
Or does the team get the cash? And who determines like? And it's never like $1 million. It's always like $375,000. What is it like? Does the agent talk to the GM? Like the GM was like, the concession stand, the beverage section is out. We can't get the beer flowing. It's a $370,000.
I think it has a lot to do with what the team trading him away has to, trying to free up some space. So it's like, hey,
it's cash. So that means the team it's got to be.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like if they're like, man, we're $1 million in debt. We're $1 million in debt right now, or $1 million in the hole. Womack's making 800,000, so send Womack and 200,000 to the team, so we're back in the green. So I think that's what happened.
I'd love to
Something
know more.
stupid.
I'm gonna AI that one to learn more about that. Darryl Clark, Tyson Hogan checking in. Anyway, so that's it. Tony Womack, he's coaching now a little bit. His son Alexander Womack is still in the minor leagues this year. He might be. He's in Double A, but he's been in there for about 6 years, and he's still in Double A. So Double A, I'm not so sure if his son's going to make it happen. But of course, now I'm a little bit. We're here in a hotel room, so I don't. We're not quite. We're not quite in that configuration here of the normal show. But my Patreon, we're starting to get mired now. We're at 51. We need a Pepper Johnson. We need a 52. But a big shout out to James Kanowitz, my website guy, also a big Cowboy fan, and also he goes with Joe. Oh yeah, he goes with Joe Covino all the time out there autograph. He's
I was
also a big
talking.
Lakers
I was
fan.
talking to. I just spent $200 plus with Joe Covino the other night.
Oh,
he had like a live auction or whatever, or a live sale for a blowout sale. I was Jimmy. You want to talk about not shitty players, but like I bought some serious like mediocre player autograph stuff the other night.
I think I have totally influenced you now.
I bought a Dexter Coakley autograph. I bought a Dat Nguyen, the first Vietnamese player in the NFL, Dat Nguyen. And then your friend and mine, I bought a huge 16x20 poster signed Miles Austin.
Oh, love that.
For my son, of course, you know.
Of course. You know what? I can't wait. I'll be long dead. But when you're 60, you're going to have a bad Cowboy podcast. And you're going to be doing, you're going to open up, used to be a guy, Jimmy Palumbo. I'm doing the same thing. And you just go bad Cowboys from like the 90s. And I love it. That's what makes it funny. That's great. Joe Covino, Woodbridge guy's dad was a cop for years. I wonder if his father's still alive. I don't know. I'd find that out. But I love Joe.
Not sure, but he invited me over to pick up the stuff. So I was like, save on the shipping. I'll come get it. Right. So I went to his house. He's like, come on in for a second. I'll take you to the man cave. Dude.
Oh, he's got a whole setup.
Dude. I didn't want to leave. I was like, this is insanity.
I can talk to Joe. You know what? Let's try to get Joe on the air. If he's selling stuff, he could, whatever you know what? We're getting Joe Covino on the air. Maybe we'll get him and James Cano. It's also a shout out to my sister, who has been like just MVP with me. And also Alex Stetsena, who's the #1 Patreon. He was the first one to sign up drunk at Brady's in Ramsey. You must have set it up for a midnight. I didn't do it. A midnight, you announced it at midnight. He happened to be out. He looked, what the hell is this? He whipping out his credit card for $3 a month. Gotta love him for that, and also my brother as well.
Have you ever made any? Have you ever made any like drunk purchases in your time, like to the point where you woke up the next day and you're like, you got to be kidding me? Like,
no. How about when you don't know it, then it comes to the door? What the hell is this?
Well, that's funny. Well, that's funny. But I went out like 3 years ago. I was out the bar with a bunch of buddies, and the next morning I get an email. Your tickets are available, and I was like, tickets are available. Like, what the fuck is this? I bought tickets to a Leonard Skinner concert at PNC Bank Center. I was like, I have no recollection of this whatsoever, but I guess I'm going to see Leonard Skinner.
The worst thing, one of the worst things I ever did, but it was a kind thing, was I got this thing late at night on Facebook about someone's friend who was like dying of cancer, blah, blah, blah. And she needed expenses paid. So, and I thought it was like my friend Lisa. And I know, our friend Lisa's friend sick. I gave him $25 to the fund, whatever. And then, like a couple weeks later, I start to get those Facebook notices, and all of a sudden, I was like, oh wait a minute, that's not my friend Lisa. It was like a friend of a friend.
Wait a minute, did I sign up for $25 a week?
So then I get, then of course the poor girl dies, and I'm reading, but I'm still getting all these memorials. I feel like going, hey guys, my mailbox is kind of full right now. I didn't know who the person was.
In typical Jimmy fashion, would have been funnier. Like, oh, she passed away. I'm so sorry. Thoughts and prayers. Can I get that money back if it's not going to be anything beneficial?
Oh my God, it's so bad. So yes, I have done that. But of course, those of you in showbiz, including Dave Sergio and his trying to get on. Well, I don't gotta say it. We are constantly here chasing miracles.com. There's always a segue, Dave. There's always a segue. Chasingmiracles.com. Go talk to Tommy and Donna. I gotta give them a shout out. They not only sponsor the show, they send me the patches. They send me this other stuff that it's like a vitamin thing.
You're
and all these
officially a
cool things.
spokesperson. That's what it is.
I am their official. This stuff really works, and I've asked a few people, even my doctor. I've asked him, and he has said, hey, some of that stuff has some truth in it. But so anyway, chasingmiracles.com. Get the patches. You can still pee in the cup. You will not get kicked out of the league. So on
like
and
that,
so
like that
forth.
Penn State wrestler. Did you see that shit? One of the best wrestlers. One of the best wrestlers in the world. And he graduated Penn State. He was wrestling for the Olympics, I think. I forget the name is passing me by, but I got in an argument with somebody on Twitter over it. He failed the drug test because of elevated testosterone because of a banned substance. And I'm like, dude, like it's an over-the-counter testosterone enhancer, just like trying to like keep you young.
So he got it at Walgreens.
Basically over the counter. And they're like, oh, you're done, you're finished, your career's torn. I'm like, dude, I can understand if he's putting shit right in his ass cheek and getting HGH. Right. But this is like something that's an herbal supplement that's just like helps your overall men's health. And it's like all of a sudden it's a banned substance. And I get it. If it's a banned substance because it's on the banned substance list, fine. But just tell him like, hey, man, can't take that shit no more. Right? Not like, oh, by the way, your entire career is torched because you decided to take this shit.
I agree. I don't, I guess, listen, young kid, everybody's stupid, I guess. But even in bigger news, though, besides wrestling, there are reports out of ESPN, the Mawa Softball League. We're at a different level now. Okay, the slipping to the 10th round clearly irritated my soul in the draft.
Put a chip on Palumbo's shoulder, ladies and
gentlemen. I will tell you, this year I am 14 for 21 with a 667 clip. Okay, we are approaching 706. It's a real conversation. We're talking Pete Rose and Ted Williams 406. Okay, now I am tied for the team in batting average, tied for most hits, tied for third in home runs, fourth in RBIs, with a combined 0 walks. So that means, and one guy whispered to me, "Have you taken 3 pitches yet this year?" I said, "No, I'm up there to hack. That's why." So we're 4-4. I'm missing 2 games this week, which means they don't have a clubhouse guy, and they're missing their. As far as I'm concerned, I'm the second best hitter. There's one guy who's much better than me, but he doesn't have as many hits.
You didn't. Listen, you didn't do the math for the averages, right? Like do you have the book? Like, how do you know?
I figured it out. In order to bat 706, I got to get like 7 hits in a row now.
No, I'm talking about how do you know that you're tied for first on the average? Like everybody else is at bat?
Because this league has a stat page.
Nice.
So the coach has to wait till after the game on Wednesday.
I love that shit.
I'm gonna send you the link. You'll laugh your ass off. It's crazy. It's down where it says like hits, doubles, home runs, triples, wall. I don't know how, but see, I do the book some innings and I do it accurate. My hits are accurate. Some of the guys like hit a dribbler short and he beats it. I don't know. It boots off his glove. They call it a hit, but.
How do you score? How do you score your fielder's choices? That's what I want to know.
No, none of that. One year, one game for Corona in Woodbridge Township. The guy did the book, and everybody was 8 for 8. I'm like, dude, we won 4-1. Like, well, you gotta be kidding me. So yeah, I'm pretty good on that. But of course, we're here in Cambridge. So yeah, the big news again. I'm on fire in softball. It's good to compete with the kids and playing a good glove after blowing the first game. So we're back there. But here we are live from downtown Cambridge, Mass. My daughter danced her solo on Saturday.
How'd she do?
She did really, really well. She looked absolutely beautiful on stage. I met her right on the side. As soon as she came off, she was smiling. She was a little nervous, and she did fantastic. But on the way down here, before I got to go to the liquor store. I went to the liquor store, and I realized I'm here for like 5 nights at a Holiday Inn in Cambridge. So I walked in, I was like, I need wine, I need beer, I need bourbon, I need some kind of margarita mix. The lady's like, she's like, yeah, I guess you're gonna be here a while. I walked out with $100.
No, just tonight.
Just tonight.
Like, oh my God.
So the guy, I'm loading up the car. I'm getting ice in the cooler and everything. What a loser! And I see a guy smoking a cigarette. Looks like he was at a Grateful Dead concert in 1971. And he's like, yeah, he got. He goes, I go, yeah, my daughter's dancing over there. He's like, he starts telling me like, he turns out he lived in Bergen County for 5 years. He knew exactly where I live and all that shit. But he's like, hey, it's a little hot down here. I'm like, okay. Like as if New Jersey's 11 hours away. So I checked into my fine Holiday Inn here, Jay. And I ended up doing I played golf yesterday in 95-degree heat. Now, I don't know, Dave, what your golfing is, but I got my new clubs. I'm committed to at least using them 3 or 4 times before they get stored away forever. And the tee time was 10 a.m. I get there 9:45. These 3 guys are already lining up to tee off. She goes, you got to hustle out there. I'm throwing my shoes out. I come buzzing around in my cart. And so they start off, and these three guys. They're 3 Asian guys. And no, I just said hi. They said hi. I ripped one foul off the tee, which was hard. And I was like, they were going so fast. I never saw faster golfers. I was like, there was no room for like, hey, can we at least like settle down a second and admire a shot? And I was awful for the first shot at 10 on the second hole. An 8, I was like 18 after 2 holes. I had an 18. But I didn't realize they weren't hitting the ball that hard. I'm like, they have no idea Giancarlo's on this team right now. So, dude, I started to hit bombs. I mean, they were like, whoa, hey, that was a nice shot there. I was at 40, 50 yards past them. However, their second shot rolled onto the green. My second shot was like ripped.
Sailed onto the third hole.
And then I realized I only play scrambles. So I'm not used to playing my own ball. So therefore, like, I was like, oh my God, what did I remember looking at the flag at like 200 yards out, being like, I have to get this ball in that little hole over there. Like, this is the dumbest game. I'd rather be an offensive lineman for the Chiefs now than have to get this ball in the hole. And so we started. I shot a 67 on the front 9. But I started talking to these guys. There were 3 high school buddies from Northern Virginia. They got some like vacation condos down here they stay at. They were like, well, totally different than what I thought. One guy was a
how's the course?
Beautiful down here at Marsh. I forget the hell the name of the course. It was a beautiful course. A public course, but it was I thought it was beautiful. Way nicer than the shit up by the public courses up by me. And I hung in there, but all I wanted to do, I realized I'm not a good golfer. In the beginning, I was like, oh my God, I just want to have a putt for a double bogey. I'll take it. You know what I mean? And then I got one of those. And then I'm like, I just want to get a putt for a bogey, you know? And then I got 2 holes in a row. I shot a bogey, which I was like thrilled to death. I mean, a double bogey. And then all of a sudden I got a couple of bogeys. And then of course, then I shot a 9, then an 8. It was brutal. But I was like, all I want is so I had a par putt on like hole number 11, but it was like an 11-footer. I was like, Jimmy, you got to do this. I hit it like soft and blah, blah, blah. But on the 18th hole, par 5, 520-yard hole, I hit a bomb off the tee deep into the night. And of course, the hotel where my daughter is staying at is majestically right in the background. It's part of the hotel. And then I'm like, Jimmy, hit a good second shot. So the guy says to me, he goes, hey, why don't you use your driver? You're way far away. You might as well, it's the last hole. He goes, he goes, I said, use my driver here. He goes, look, if you get one, you might be able to lay it up on the green. Dude, I hit a rocket, one of those like 2 feet off the ground base hits that just sailed and it rolled up. So then I'm like, okay, I'm like 100 yards away. I'm like, I got 3. All I want to do is par this hole. And I was like, of course, I got my little sand wedge. And I'm like, I have no skills to do this. Just like, I literally was like my mother shooting it. Mom, you want to take the shot for me like this? And I chipped it up. Next thing you know, I had like a 6-footer for par, right? So I was, of course, by this point, I'm doing my Marv Albert, these 3 guys. I'm like, good. And I had postcards in my golf bag for the Jimmy Palumbo Show. They're reading it.
They're watching right now, as a matter of fact.
And I'm like, good evening, everybody. One guy's name was Duke. I think Chris was the other guy. And they're all from Korea, nicest guys in the world. And I was like, this is it. This is for the chicken. And all of a sudden, I drilled a 6-foot one for par on the last hole for a 119. For a 119 on the day.
Listen, it's not about how you start; it's about how you finish, Jimmy. That's a valiant effort.
67 on the front 9. How awful is that? But a 52 on the back. If I shot a 52 every 9 holes, that's like probably the top I'm going to do. I got to learn how to golf.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, I got to do that. But it was so then I go to the pool at the nice hotel where I wasn't staying, and it was so
did you order
hot out.
drinks? And they're like, Mr. Palumbo, you're
Well,
not staying here. You can't drink.
well, I had my daughter's room number, so I was like, oh yeah, but I made sure I didn't want to put anything on the room. But you don't realize when it's that hot out, you sweat like your kneecaps sweat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, then I realized Jimmy drinks. So I had 6 beers on the course, but I didn't even feel any buzz. I walked over, and one of the guys, the dance dads, handed me a beer, and so now I'm like in there, but it was outside the pool, and I couldn't go in the pool because I didn't have my bathing suit on. I started to like overheat standing at the pool watching my daughter frolic with her friends. And then so I was gonna go out last night. I got home. I was like burnt a little bit, little color. I was sweating from my boobs were sweating, and I took a cold shower. I poured myself a little margarita, adorable margarita here at Shea, and I fell asleep. Woke up this morning at 6:30.
Nice.
Nice. Sunday night was gone, but we got to discuss one thing. Okay, my buddy Dave DeLisi. So in the morning, Sunday morning, I went downstairs to the hotel breakfast, the 6 to 10 breakfast. Now, I don't know how you feel about this, but
I'm
the
a breakfast
greatest food in the world are the waffles at a shitty hotel. The waffle maker where you pour out the cup and you pour it over, then you got to flip it over when the beef goes over. I was jonesing so bad for this waffle maker that my buddy Dave's like, oh, there's nothing better than those waffles. They taste. First of all, the mix is all chemical. I don't think there's flour in there or milk or egg or anything like that. I swear to God, I think if one of those hotels opens up near an IHOP, I think the IHOP guy's like, oh man, that hotel's opening right here. They got the waffles with the thing that flips it over. So I go down there in the morning. And always at those hotels, the bacon is shitty and the eggs are like watery. It's like horrific, right? But the waffles, that's all you do is eat waffles with the shitty syrup that contains no maple. I think it says on the outside of it, this maple syrup contains no maple, no trees. There's nothing. It's brown sugar with gelatin in it. So I go down there. I'm all pumped up. All of a sudden, fear took over me. I was like, "There's no waffle machine, right?" And I see this other machine, and it says like 3-minute pancake maker. And I'm like,
oh no.
I look at the lady, I'm like, what? I was like, where's the waffle? She goes, oh, we don't do that. They're a little hard to clean. I'm like, no, the dirt in there gives it the flavor. That's what I want years of grease in there.
My grandmother's gravy, the drum that she made the gravy. Like, you don't watch that. You just leave it.
You don't wash it, you leave it, right? So next thing you know, I'm pushing a button on this thing. And dude, first of all, for kids, it is better than Disney World, okay? That's funny. Tyson Hogan, the cure for cancer is that waffle maker. The pancake thing, there's this little conveyor belt underneath, and they give you a little window to watch. So it squats down, and then it goes along. It goes along, and then there's this thing that like makes sure that it doesn't rise above a certain thing, and then it flaps it right on your plate. I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing. The pancakes taste twice as good as anything IHOP makes. The only thing is you got to sit there and wait. I had little kids around me, like some lady walked in with 4 kids, and I was like, come on, let's make the pancakes.
Come on, children, let's make some pancakes. You're not a creep. Don't worry about it.
And one kid was like, Mom, that guy's making pancakes over there. I'm like, no, it's not me. It's the machine. And and then I ended up having eggs. And then, of course, fat bastard that I am, in the corner of the room, I didn't see it. Again, not a bad job I made. They had those hot little mini cinnamon rolls. You know what I'm talking about? I was like, that was N1, right? We were up by 12, stolen pass, and he's fouled. I was like, I had 3 of those. I had maple all over my hands. I had pancakes all over. I didn't eat the scrambled eggs. They taste like shit. But
I'm a huge scrambled eggs guy too. That's disappointing.
You can't. It's nothing good. Although the sausage links this morning weren't that bad. They were like, again, there's no meat in them. It's like cow hoof is inside of them. But anybody, listen, all my fans out there, you must agree. The waffle mix. You know what I'm going to do on Route 17 where I live? There's a couple of hotels that have that kind of thing. So I told my buddy Dave,
show up there, not stay just for breakfast.
I go, Dave. We got to go one morning. He's like, I'm all in. All we're trying to do is get
That's
to
funny.
the waffle maker. I'll pay for it. I love it. But anyway, of course, absolute eyewear.
Her hand fall off yet? She all right?
I don't. Was that?
I said, did her hand fall off yet? How's she doing?
Jay Bird of Absolute Eyewear, Janine Michaud, is back home with her cat, and she's still dealing with antibiotics. And I don't think she's quite out of the woods yet. They're worried about a little bone thing, but it looks like she's well on her way to being okay. I haven't checked in with her since she got home. But of course, she posted stuff about her beautiful cat. And I'm like, oh, man, that cat would be, I would be like, I would have said, my beautiful cat is home. And I threw it out yesterday in the garbage can, sealed.
My beautiful cat's ashes are home. So we lit the thing on fire.
I would say yes. I took the cast that I had to do, and I mixed it in with the cat, and it's everything. But she loves
guess what
cat.
it makes a fantastic waffle mix. Actually,
I was worried about it because every time I was getting word from my sister, and I called her like. She never got out of the hospital, but they were doing surgery, pulling cat venom out of her joints.
Jesus Christ!
I mean, I understand it's an aging LeBron cat in 18 years, but I told her to me it would have been a punting from deep in my end zone. I would have got it all. But she loves the cat. What are you gonna do? I just hope I didn't realize that cats could do that much damage with their.
Especially if they're out, especially if they get out like that and they're in the wild, who knows what the fuck they do?
I know. It's crazy. I just hope she doesn't get bit again.
Well, you would think now that the cat is also free of whatever the hell it had going on too. Like if the cat was at the vet after the fact, right?
I know, but you know what? I gotta ask her because you can like shower a dog, wash. You can't really do that with a cat.
No, you can't.
So you gotta you don't like water, I guess. Anyway,
Black Panther.
That's very perfect. Funny.
Wakanda forever.
She's totally listening to this. She'll be like, Jimmy, you're mocking out my cat. I'm like, I know you love the cat.
If you are listening or watching this on YouTube, please like the video, share it out, and do all that fun shit to help the show grow. That'd be great.
Nothing better than Dave does a quick marketing promo, right? I'm so funny. Yes, please do all that. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, subscribe.
You got a lot of backlash on your Rutgers take last week, or not backlash, but like you could tell there was a lot more Jimmy Palumbos out there than you think. As far as I'm like, why would you go to Rutgers? Like, oh, she out of this, she out of that, and they're like, first of all, like. There's like 4 Rutgers players in the NFL. Like it was like the people were getting in on you, and I was like, oh man, he's getting brutalized. But then there was some people that were caping up for it, and you're like, yep, he makes grown men, like he turns these students into men, blah 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 blah. But your boys got top 5 draft picks, both of them.
I guess we'll talk about that now. First of all, I'm losing my mind because I can't take this anymore. I can't read about these 2 players.
You know, he was almost a draft night trade too. Not who was it? Bailey.
I need to preface this. These, as far as anyone can tell, okay, these 2 players, they're nice guys, and the Harper family, they're good people. So this is nothing to do with anybody personally. Listen, NBA. You're gonna make $25 million. You take it, okay? If the show is gonna be on the Playboy channel and all we do is have the pitching machine on, I made $25 million. I'd be like, good evening, everybody. Welcome to downtown Beverly Hills. We bring you exclusive coverage of the pitching machine.
Beating the glove up, just ready to go. Like, come on.
Okay. And people will be like, oh, Dave and Jimmy, they only do X-rated stuff now. Yes, we do.
Well,
anyway,
pays the bills.
Family's in agreement, and Dave Sturchill's wife totally signed the contract. Anyway, so listen, the money's great, blah blah blah, but then I got to listen to Harper at his press conference say to all the San Antonio fans out there, like, look out, we're gonna make the playoffs, we're gonna change the narrative, and I feel like going, change the narrative. Like, why didn't you say last year? Hey, Rutgers fans, we're going to be on the bubble for the NIT.
There was another. There was another comment that came in, and I'm curious to know your thoughts on this. Apparently, Rutgers declined the NIT. Is that right?
No, we declined. We might have. No, I think we declined. Yes, they might have made a. Then there was that other tournament called like the NBLLC where they
I
get
don't know.
like,
I'm just saying, like you
like
said, we're so bad we missed the NIT. I think they were invited, and they said they didn't want to go.
yeah, because Dylan and Harper and Bailey wouldn't have played, and we
That's
hadn't.
true.
Why go?
You would have got smoked in the first round of the NIT.
But I don't care what anybody says. The rule of the NIT is you have to be 500 to qualify. We weren't. But this guy's Harper's comments, we're gonna make the playoffs. Now he's boasting, and I feel like saying, why don't you make an outside shot with 8 minutes to go once? And then I read another article, okay, and it says he might be the NBA's first billion-dollar player. It was in NJ.com. I'll send you the article, and I'm like, wait a minute, this guy couldn't take Rutgers to any postseason. Now he's talking about billion-dollar player. Like, what?
He wasn't even the first overall pick.
Please, I don't.
So
know.
why wouldn't Cooper Flagg be the first billion-dollar player?
So Cooper Flagg's gonna be the first $11 billion player and score more than LeBron. Okay, then I read this. This is where being a Rutgers fan is truly painful. Okay, some scouts like he's a bigger, stronger Brunson. And I'm like,
oh, I saw that. I got bent about that. I did see that. I'm like, and then like a Knicks page that I follow was like, yeah, great, but go be Brunson before you become compared to Brunson. Stop.
Go be Brunson. Go be Brunson at college. Go be Brunson's senior year in high school. Like, what are you talking about? So I'm losing my mind. And again, I hope the kid becomes a great player. Who cares? Won't affect Rutgers at all. I'm tired. And then Bailey not getting on the plane. Oh my God! Like I said it on Mad Dog Radio. I called in. If you were in Vegas and you had to make a bet, and the bet was really good in the NBA or bust, what would you say? You got to take busts. It's easy money if you ask me. Plus the odds. I just can't believe that they have these two kids as being like these awesome players. Like, I just don't get it. Maybe I know nothing about basketball. I'm the guy on the couch, and nothing personal. I wish them well. I really do. But I just want this whole thing to go away.
I think the narrative, or at least your feelings, would have been different had Rutgers made the tournament and they made like a little bit of noise, and you're like, oh, these guys are actually really good.
Okay.
And like,
here's really at the root of my complaint. Everyone's blaming Peichel. They're blaming players 3, 4, and 5, and the bench and the coaching system, and it's as if Bailey and Harper scored 60 points a game each, and we went 15 and 17. And I'm saying you can blame Peichel a little bit. You can blame players. But part of the blame, part of the article written has to be these two guys did not play night in, night out great basketball. Anybody. Bailey can't dribble. I don't understand. So I know I'm right about that. I watch every game, but I don't want to talk about this anymore. It's making me sick. And I just want this whole thing to go away. I'm so glad Utah and San Antonio, late night games. I barely watch NBA regular season. The Knicks are good now. And that whole thing, let that ship sail. And Rutgers is going to be awful next year in basketball, but Peichel will get them together. They'll play better as a team. And you know what? I bet not this year, next year they win. They make the tournament. That's my prediction. You heard it right there. Oxy Magic USA, OXY Magic USA. Dave with the finger point to the fine graphic here, Shay. Give them a call. Talk to Tommy and Natalie. Great carpet service people all over the place. Our marketing is genius. It's the best. Give them a call. They're awesome. Dave uses them. I use them. OxyMagicUSA.com. Also in the news, and Dave, you're a few years away from this. I will be on with my daughter going on some college tours here at Shea this summer. A little early, heading into a junior year, but a couple of the other girls wanted to go. We will be checking out University of Rhode Island, Providence, and Sacred Heart University.
You have
not that far away.
no pull over this to get her to try to go to Rutgers?
Well, first of all, but listen. What I'm doing is I'm letting my daughter play the easy part of the schedule.
Okay.
We're talking like week 1 they're playing at Rhode Island, at Providence, and then Rutgers will come in. Yes, I'm going to be setting up a tour of Rutgers. I'm really looking forward to that because I drove the kids around a couple of weeks ago. I mentioned on the show, and I only know Rutgers like when I was there, which is really 95 years ago. I felt like Christopher Columbus. Oh, then we sailed, and this is where
you did that. You did that when we went. When we why did we go to Rutgers?
Yeah. We went.
No,
we
it was
went
probably on the way home
beer.
from a game or away to the game.
Yeah,
and you're
Rutgers
saying you're
won.
like, oh, there's where I stayed, and that's my first apartment. And why the fuck were we there? Oh, it's when we went to go drink after their game. We went to the bar.
It must have been a win, but we had to.
It had to have been a win.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then we watched Shador at the Scarlet Pub.
And Shador lit it up. I was like, I told you this guy's good.
Anyway,
that's another thing. Like, so Harper's going to be great, and Shador's going to stink. My brain doesn't handle that well. Anyway, enough with that. We'll be going there. We'll be doing a Rutgers tour. I want to hear, by the way, how if they have a 20-year-old tour guide on the Rutgers tour, how uncomfortable am I going to make this guy when we journey over to Piscataway, over the river, and he's like, and of course over here and he's positive about Rutgers. I'm going to tell the kid, do not mention sports on this 2-hour tour. Do not mention. I don't want to hear about men's lacrosse. I want to hear about wrestling. I want to hear nothing. But I want to hear how they spin it because listen, Rutgers is a very good school and it's tough to get into now.
I got rejected from Rutgers.
Yeah, I got into. I don't know how I got in. I got in on a bad 3-pointer
on a hope and a dream
off the rim. They reviewed it after further review. Good. I barely got in, but I'm curious how they spin it. Because the campus is like divided with the New Brunswick, Piscataway, the rivers in between. They got
Rutgers Newark too, or something like that. Like this isn't like Newark.
Yeah, she won't. My daughter, my brother went to Rutgers Newark. If you commute, it's not that bad. You pull into a parking lot and you take your classes, but. I'd like to see her apply. She would apply to Penn State too, which, man, her going to Penn State would be painful for me. But I told her, I said, Nat, it would be wonderful if you got into a school like Penn State. But if you think I'm wearing that blue and white shit,
they're not for nothing, but they're in some hot water too right now, man. There's some.
What happened with Penn State? Now, first of all, I go to Cambridge, Maryland.
Oh, dude, you gotta get on. I was informed by Paz because Paz was recording his podcast over the weekend at the studio, and he told me that the coach, possibly. Wrestling. I'm pretty sure.
Wrestling coach.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's also. We're talking Joe Paterno type shit here. So like, they're going right back to where they were. And if they get caught again and burned again on some kind of allegation, they gotta go. They what is it going to take for you to be like, you know what, Penn State, you don't belong here anymore. You're like,
you know what? If they
could be serious.
If Penn State gets caught again doing that. Then our Coach Flood meeting with the teacher trying to change a grade, it's gonna look like nothing. By the way, it was like an acting class. You know about that, right? It was like a class that all you got to do is show up. Anyway,
it's like basket weaving.
I did not. That doesn't sound right to me. My cousin John would have let me know about that.
Something's going on. You might want to look into that.
I will for sure. But yeah, this college thing. I don't know. It's a little early. I don't know. You got to get your SATs done yet. She didn't even do that shit yet. And but I don't want her to go too far away. But you know what? I say that just as a dad. I mean, listen, you have 2 kids. Do you really want your kid 8 hours away with a flight? No.
I don't like when Miles goes to daycare 5 minutes away.
I know. So, but listen, I'm not one to be like, no, it have to be an hour away. I don't want to be that way either. I would like it to be where I could get in a car. Like, this is how stupid dads get. If I get a call at 11 o'clock at night, I want to be able to just get my car and go. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be there by 4 a.m. or I'll be there, if it's 3 hours, 2 hours. But if it's like, I got to go to Newark, get on a flight, then you got to wait for it. Then it's like, I want to be able to be like, honey, I'm in the car, I'm heading your way. Let's talk on the phone. But that's really silly to be that way, I guess. But that's the feeling I have now. I only have 1 kid. But I do want her to go to a nice school. But more importantly, the conversation I had with her, I said, I think people disagree with me. My brother does. there's a big difference between the college, either go to big school or a little school. And believe it or not, Natalie's influence with like going to Rutgers games, she likes going to the football games and basketball games. And some of the smaller schools, some of them have a football team. It's D3, and they do have a basketball team. But like the stadiums, they're not stadiums. They're the size of Woodbridge High School stands. And the basketball, some of them have a decent basketball team though, and there's excitement in the gym there. But I would like her to go to a place where there's some kind of school spirit. Obviously, University of Rhode Island used to have a decent hoops team. Every now and then they're okay, but I don't think they play D1 football. But Rutgers, I get a little nervous. A girl walking around New Brunswick, I guess. But I'm told, as long as you stick within the boundaries there, it's not so bad. And my nephew went there, so we'll see. But it's also these schools are hard to get into. She does want to apply maybe to Maryland, which wouldn't be so bad. I'm down here now.
What does she want to go to school for? Does she have any idea?
We're not sure. She's thinking about that's the thing, like secondary education, a high school teacher and stuff. But the problem is all the New Jersey state schools are awesome for teachers. A lot of them years ago were called teacher schools.
Yeah, I know, like 15 teachers
Ramapo,
from Kane
your
or some
Montclair,
shit.
Your Rowan, your Canes, your what's the other one down there? There's like 5 or 6 of them that are known for that kind of thing. But I would like her to maybe be a little further away, even to get away from us for a little bit, grow up a little bit, I guess. But I don't want her to go to like University of Wyoming to become a school teacher.
Dad, I got into UCLA. It's
like, I know. UCLA. If she gets into UCLA, I'll move to LA for 4 years. I'll go right back to my old days. I'll go 5 1/3. But that'll be exciting. The college tour thing, which I'll be, I hope that me and Natalie's mom agree on on each thing. I'm going to keep real quiet, take it all in, do my research, and then I got to leave it up to her, I guess. But when you do that, something goes wrong with your cornhole. And that's when you got to cornholelevel.com. It is transition day. Nobody better in the biz than me. You know what I want to do? I want to do a podcast where all it is transitions. It's non sequitur day. The Jimmy Palumbo non sequitur show. Go to cornholelevel.com. I don't have the thing with me. I'm in a hotel room with the little boat in the background, which I shifted my computer. And hey, listen, live here. Cornholelevel.com. They're great gifts. If you know somebody into cornhole.
It's cornhole season, guys. It's cornhole season. Everybody's outside.
Summertime.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, on another note, I know you didn't see this, but if you did, I'm going to make you watch it. It's only 55 minutes long. Did you see the poop cruise thing on Netflix?
I watched the trailer and I was very intrigued, but I've not gotten around to it yet.
Okay, can you do me?
It reminds me of. Do you remember the Fire Fest?
Yes.
Yeah. This reminds me of that.
Listen. Okay, this is what I want you to do. Promise me you'll do this. I want you and your wife put the kids to bed. I want you to both have a few cocktails in you. Okay. And make it early, we all fall asleep early now, right? Like literally make this like 8 o'clock at night. All right. As soon as the kids are down, have a couple of cocktails, and the two of you snuggle on the couch, okay, and watch this. I found myself laughing out of control, hysterical at these poor people on this cruise. First of all, the cruise was in the middle. The only bit is from Charleston to Mexico and back 4 days, 3 nights, 4 days, right? Everybody gets on. They're all celebrating. It's a cruise ship that I was on 5 years previous, the Carnival Triumph. And somewhere in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America, whatever you want to, that water, body of water where everyone dies from hurricanes, somewhere in the middle of that, like this ship, all the electric stopped and there was no power, no nothing. And they were just adrift. Like I'm watching Titanic now. And the end of the day was all I'll say is the toilets didn't work. Okay. So you just have to watch these people and what they go through. Now, my mother watched it. She loves cruises. She thought it was awful. Why could you laugh at that? Oh my God. I don't know why. I found it. Just imagine this scenario. Hey, honey, we just need to get out of town for a little bit. Mom's going to watch the kids. She's going on a cruise, blah, blah, blah. And let's just get away. Or, hey, honey, you know what? We've been sitting here and Dunellen. Let's just take me and you and the 2 kids. Let's go on a fun cruise, right? You go on this cruise. It's only 4 days, probably not that expensive. You get the coupons going, and then I won't even tell you what. Well, we will just. You have to watch it before next week's show. We will have a full discussion. I think you would have jumped off the ship with your wife and your 2 kids. It would have been like nobody died. Oh, yes, the Sturcio family is lost at sea right now. And the way we watched the video cameras, and this big guy grabbed a woman and 2 kids, and we haven't seen them since. First of all, I don't want to reveal anything, but go watch it, and then just laugh about. Now, my mother likes cruises. So I started to think, if my mother was on this cruise, I think we would have had to throw my mother overboard. She would have lost her mind. Oh my! You got to watch it. And then they had open bar because they had mayhem. I don't know if we were with my buddies from the shore. I was giggling at every scenario I would be in. So go watch, no doubt about it. Poop Cruise, whatever the hell it's called. Also, the shit your carpet's knees. I love that stuff. Did you watch Goliath? Did you start watching Goliath yet?
No, you know what I actually started watching? Because I was having this conversation with my father yesterday in the pool, and I'm like, I can't get into these shows because I'm just like, I'm so far behind. Like I was on Netflix the other day, and I found myself scrolling for 25 minutes. I'm like, I don't know what I want to watch. And I always go back to like old reliables that I've seen already, right? So my dad's like, look, here's basically a list of the things you
can't rewatch shows.
Oh, dude, you know how many times I've rewatched Entourage? But I started Suits last night. I've never seen it.
Oh yeah, people. That show. You know what? I can't stand the new queen, whatever the hell her name is, who married whatever. I can't see Meghan Markle.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know that until my wife told me that. She's like, "Oh, by the way, that girl married Prince, whatever the hell." I was like, "Really?"
It annoyed me so much. As soon as she started to have a bigger part, I stopped watching. But yes, that show is very, very popular. And
we're sitting here, we're sitting here trying to film a 20-minute pilot. Their pilot was an hour and 20 minutes long. That's how I was like, "Is this ever gonna fucking?" I was enjoying it, but I was like, "How long is this first episode?" And it took an hour and 20, and then I finally got into the fucking actual meat and potatoes of it by episode 1 after the pilot. But that's all I got.
If Tom Baldinger was editing Jaws 50 years ago, we'd still be waiting on the shark to come. Yes, Tom getting
Let's take a 1-point lead.
Oh, man.
By the way, Jaws. Now you were not born. Jaws came out 50 years ago. I was 10 when I went to go see it. It was in the movie theaters for a long time.
Do you know the whole thing is based out of Mattawan?
Well, the Mattawan and the guy.
It was like a creek or some shit.
Yeah, the creek, and also really though they think it's based out of the guy from Montauk because Peter. I
heard Mattawan.
I know there's a whole. No one really knows. Well, Mattawan had people were killed by a shark. But like in 1910 or something like that.
Oh.
So there's a weird. They say when Peter Benson, who wrote the book, started to dabble into it, he was getting all these things together. But it's based on one of the guys is based on a Montauk guy. But of course, Peter Benson couldn't say that, otherwise you have to pay residuals and stuff. So, but the movie Jaws totally. There's no doubt. You talk to people around my age, I guess. They didn't go in the ocean. Like no one goes in the ocean because of a movie. Very influential.
There was a friggin' shark down in on one of the coasts, and it got to the point where it was like in 4 feet water, and I was like, and you could see it, and it was chasing a stingray, so like it was getting close, and people were like recording. I'm like, dude, that's like right at the line of where the fucking ocean stops. Like, get out of here! Like you're out of your mind.
Well, there's ones that come up into 5 inches of water and snatch like seals. Like and listen, if I'm laying in the water, I certainly look like a seal. You know what I mean? I mean, my daughter, the sharks. If my daughter's in the water, they're like, "Oh no, I don't want to appetize. I want to eat." Oh, look at that fat fuck sitting over there. I gotta go for that. But to me, it's scary as hell. Like I don't want to even hear the word Jaws. But then you're like, there's been if you divide how many people go in the water divided by how many shark attacks, you're better off winning the Mega Millions. But I don't want to pay lottery tickets, scratch off with my fat ass.
Can't tell you how many times my dad just randomly, you know how you do Jay New? He'll do like my dad will be like, dark eyes. dark eyes. That's it. I'm like, the fuck? Like, but it's from Jaws.
Yep.
Like we need a bigger boat.
We need a bigger boat. Oh my God, that's so great. Y'all know me. You know what I do for a living. Talking about sharking.
Smile, you son of a bitch.
It's so great.
So
and then
good.
how weirdly, what's his name, comes out of the water at the end. He's alive in that cage. Made no sense. But yeah, Jaws at Shea's 50th anniversary. I think it's in the theaters maybe this week, if I'm not mistaken, or it's out now.
I don't know.
I was thinking about going to a theater to watch it.
Yeah, they're playing. Actually, they brought back Jaws. They're playing it right next to the beer league. They're playing both side by
Beer
side.
League the series. You go see. And yes, we are shooting Beer League the series again at the end of August. I got to put it. Listen, I got to put this out to everyone. It looks like we're going to be doing a scene at a party. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to drop any hints. So I am putting the word out that we will. Anybody who wants to be an extra in the movie to fill up a Knights of Columbus hole.
We're talking right to you, Tyson Hogan. We're talking right to you,
Hogan,
Dying Breed Garage. We're talking to all you guys. Daryl Clark, come on up.
Right.
End of August.
The only thing we're not providing, we will not be
Just
providing pay, airfare, or hotels, or car.
We're gonna pay you with smiles, a lot of smiles.
You're gonna get the address of some Knights of Columbus in Jersey, and see you there, folks. If anybody does show up, I will go out of my way to make sure they get at least a little screen time there, Shay, including a bartender known as Dave Destruction. Will be playing a bartender, so we'll leave it at that. But I'm looking forward to doing all that. I don't know what's going on. I think you guys can still hear me. Tyson Hogan, send me the specifics. But I think that's it. We'll do the show a little early. We're right about on time. What else I wanted to say? Dave, good luck on your trying to get on Sirius XM there. Hopefully, I know you did go to Dave Sturcho's whatever.
It's making some waves on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, I'm trying, man. Listen, it's my last ditch effort here. I'm like, fuck it. What do I got to lose?
Well, you know what? You say that, but like maybe a year from now, you know, they make changes all the time. But put it this way, you know the guy involved. You just got to pound him with shit. If I were you, I would start doing, again, Jimmy, with his advice, I would start doing individual, like 4-minute bits on wrestling.
I have an idea. I have an idea that I want to
just send it to him.
Yeah, I have an idea as to how I can maybe like send out like an all-out blitz, a zero blitz on this thing, and I think I'm going to try to execute it. But I'm like my head is all on the
2 minutes. 2 minutes with Sturch. Things I hate about wrestling. Things I love about wrestling.
It's going 20. It's going 24. It's going 24/7 operations over there. It's going to be called the Pro Wrestling Universe. I'm sorry, Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. And I was thinking about doing my thing and calling it 25th and 8th. You know, because it's the 25th hour and the 8th day of the week or some shit like that. Something to the point where I'm just like, I'm not included in that yet, but here's an extra. You know, so we'll see.
Yeah, you should and come up with a thing, and I would make it short, and I would just keep on sending it to them eventually. You know, that again, that's how the people don't know this, but the writer and director of Beer League, he sent via fax every day to David Letterman for his opening monologue a joke, had to fax them. He got the fax number for 1 year, sent jokes, page of jokes every day until he got a phone call saying Dave likes one of them. He wants to change his thing, and he got like a $200 for it. And Letterman told, hey, keep sending the faxes. And he did that for another 2 months. Next thing you know, he was a hired writer to do the joke, and he's been joke writing ever since. So that is I would just send them shit. Of course, I don't know dick about wrestling. I should do a show called What the fuck is this wrestling all about? But it's a very popular sport. And also, don't forget, next week, a week from now.
2 weeks.
July 8th, right?
July 15th.
July 15th. Go down the shore. Now, ticket sales robust. You must be. Is there a sellout number, or because it's a beach?
No, because it's the beach. There's no sellout number. We did sell out ringside, 3 rows of seating, which equals about 200 there, and then Yeah, I mean, it's been every day. There's at least 1 or 2 sales that go through. So people are, and I know people are smart this time around. They're monitoring the weather and making sure it's going to be a nice day before they purchase tickets and shit. But right now, knock on wood, everything looks decent.
That's very cool. Go check that out. And I know, I'm not a wrestling fan, and I went there just to support you. What the fuck he's doing here? And I find me and Deej went, and I was like, this is awesome. And it's fun to watch. I can see if you bring in like a 7-year-old boy to that, there's no way they wouldn't think it's cool as hell. And that's really what it's all. That's you got hooked. Most wrestling fans didn't get hooked when they're 30. They got hooked when they were 12, jumping on a couch, dropping a leg.
I got hooked when I was 7. So
yeah, so there you go. So if you have a 7-year-old boy and you're down the shore or near shore, go down there and bus ball. Can you take me to Absolute Eyewear so I can see Charles Oakley when I come up?
Perfect.
No, Charles Oakley is in Beer League, the series. He's definitely fun. You know what's funny? I should maybe have a scene while I'm wearing a pair of Oakley sunglasses that'll only be funny to Darryl Clark and Tyson Hogan and the Stone Show family. All right, that's it, everybody. Sorry for the crazy setup here, but I think it came out okay. Yeah, we'll see you next week. I invited someone to do the show, and I can't figure out who. I gotta look at my text. We will have a guest next week, and we gotta get guests. I want to do guests again because I always have fun doing that. So there you go. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I didn't forget. Yankees stink and the Mets stink. All right.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Good night, everybody.
We'll see you. Good night, everybody.